You ever walk past a penny on the street and just keep going? Next time, don't. Because the coin you're ignoring could be your $1,000,000 ticket. Today, we're talking about the 2006 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark. Sounds ordinary, right? Wrong. This coin has rocked the world of collectors with a staggering $1 million valuation. Yes, a single cent that's now worth seven figures. So buckle up. You're about to learn how an ordinary-looking penny became an extraordinary asset and how you might have one just like it. Let me take you back to a rainy afternoon in Indiana. I was helping my grandfather clean out his old war chest, not a pirate chest, though it might as well have been. Under stacks of yellowed newspapers and rusted keys, we found a jar full of pennies. Most people would have cashed them in for bubble gum money. But something told me to look closer. Among them was a 2006 Lincoln penny. No mint mark. Nothing flashy. But this coin, it felt different. Turns out, that was no ordinary penny. The 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny is considered a unicorn in the coin world. Why? It was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically does not include a mint mark. But certain 2006 versions came with extremely rare errors, off-center strikes, doubled dies, and even some made with a transitional planchet meant for earlier pennies. A few of these coins made it past inspectors. Fewer still reached circulation. And one of them? Sold at auction for over $1 million. Now, let's get into the juicy stuff. What makes a 2006 penny worth more than a Ferrari? Only a handful of these no mint mark error coins are known to exist. The closer to mint state, the better. MS-65 or higher? Now you're talking luxury yacht money. Collectors are always on the hunt for US mint anomalies, and this coin checks every box. Imagine holding a piece of copper that outvalues most luxury watches. If that doesn't make you look at your change jar differently, I don't know what will. How many times have you dropped a penny and said, "It's not worth picking up"? If I had $1 for every time I heard that, well, I'd still rather have that penny. We spoke with numismatic experts who say these types of coins are like winning the lottery, but with better odds if you know where to look. It's about education, not luck, one collector told us. The more you know, the more valuable your pocket change becomes. If your 2006 no mint mark penny checks any of these boxes, congratulations. You're in rarefied air. I had it authenticated, graded, and auctioned. The final bid $843,000. And while it didn't hit the $1 million mark, it changed everything. That one coin paid off my student loans, bought my first home, and kick-started my journey into rare coin collecting. But here's the twist: the buyer of my penny reached out recently. He believes it's actually one of three known with a double strike error, meaning it could now be worth more than $1 million. Should I try to buy it back? Let me know in the comments. If there's one thing you take from this video, let it be this: wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street or inheritance. Sometimes it comes from recognizing the value in what others overlook. You don't need a metal detector or a time machine. Just curiosity, a little knowledge, and a handful of coins. So check your drawers. Flip those pennies. Because you never know when you'll find a coin that could change your life. Subscribe now if you want more tips on rare coins, wealth building strategies, and stories from everyday people who struck it rich with pocket change. Hit that bell so you never miss a penny, literally. What if I told you that the penny sitting at the bottom of your junk drawer could be worth $1.10 million? Yes. That same little copper coin you used to flip for fun. Heads or tails? Now it's heads or $1 million tail. Welcome to a journey that might just change your life, or at least the way you look at pocket change. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious and wildly valuable 1978 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny. And spoiler alert, it's not just rare, it's life-altering. Before you toss your whole coin jar across the living room in excitement, slow down. Because only a few of these exist, and knowing what to look for is your first step toward discovering a hidden fortune. Grab a cup of coffee. Or if you're like me, a strong one, because over the next 40 minutes, we're going to break down exactly why this specific penny is sending shockwaves through the collector's world. We'll cover how to identify it, why it's so valuable, and what to do right now if you find one. Let's begin with the story behind this copper miracle. In 1978, the Lincoln Memorial cent was mass-produced. Over 5.5 billion coins were minted, but here's the kicker: some of these coins were struck with microscopic flaws, alignment errors, off-center prints, and most notably, without any mint mark. And now normally, pennies without a mint mark were produced in Philadelphia, and that wasn't all that strange, but in a batch of 1978 pennies, something else happened: anomalies in die pressure, unexpected doubling of Lincoln's profile, and unusually thick planchets slipped past the inspection lines. Point one coin in particular, graded MS68 red with no mint mark, sold at auction for over $1.10 million. That's not hype. That's hard cash, and it sparked a frenzy. Here's where the fear creeps in: what if you had one, and unknowingly spent it on a vending machine soda 20 years ago? Yeah. That feeling in your stomach right now? That's exactly why this matters. How to identify the $1.1 million 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Let's walk through the essentials. No mint mark beneath the date, strong, deep strike with clear lines around Lincoln's coat, no signs of wear. This must be in mint state condition, doubling around the lettering, especially "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." Sharp, clean edges with minimal scratches. If your coin checks those boxes, your hands might literally be holding one of the most valuable pennies in existence. How many people toss theirs away thinking it was just another penny? It's like having a winning lottery ticket and never scratching it. Here's the truth most people miss: the value isn't just about scarcity. It's about demand, historical quirks, and collector psychology. In 1978, the transition toward more modern coin striking technologies created subtle minting variations. Die breaks, off-metal errors, and blank planchet strikes became part of the story that, combined with pristine preservation, made certain coins astronomically valuable. Wealthy collectors want uniqueness. They pay to own a piece of a flawed system, a once-in-history coin that proves that even the smallest things can be extraordinary. Would you pay over $1 million for a penny if it made you the only person in the world to own that version? Many already have. One man in Indiana found a 1978 no mint mark penny in an old shoebox while helping his father move. That penny, authenticated by PCGS, changed their family's financial future. Another collector bought a random coin roll off eBay, $4.20. Buried inside, yes, a 1978 no mint mark penny in nearly flawless condition. Here's the exciting part: these coins are still out there. In basements, in coffee cans, in pockets of old jeans. You've now seen how one tiny coin can flip your world upside down. You've learned the signs, the value, the stories. Start checking your coins. Use a magnifier. Search your old drawers, coin jars, and bankrolls. Take them to a professional grader. Research. Compare, but above all, do not wait. The market moves fast. What's worth $1.1 million today might rise or disappear into a private collection tomorrow. And let's face it: retirement, freedom, security, they're not cheap, but sometimes they come in the form of something you already owned. If you made it this far into the video, it means you're serious about discovering hidden treasure in your own home. Now imagine what else you could be missing. Coins like this don't just tell us about money, they tell us a bigger story: that greatness often hides in plain sight, and sometimes, what looks small ends up being priceless. What if your $1 million penny is already in your house, waiting to be found, and you never look? Subscribe for more rare coin deep dives, real market values, and smart selling strategies, because the next coin we talk about might be sitting in your wallet right now. But we'll see you in the next video, and remember, wealth is often found in the details. Even a tiny copper one. What if I told you that the most powerful investment tool in your entire house is sitting in your junk drawer right now? That little copper coin you used to flip to decide what's for dinner. Yeah, that one. It could be worth $1.2 million if it's a 1976 D Lincoln Memorial penny. Now, before you laugh and say, "It's just a penny," let me ask you something. Do millionaires laugh at opportunity, or do they recognize it when it stares back at them in copper and zinc? Welcome to the world of rare coin collecting, and more importantly, welcome to a story that might just change your financial future forever. Today we're going to dive deep into the 1976 D Lincoln penny, a coin so seemingly ordinary, yet packed with secrets that have turned pocket change into portfolios. Stick around, because over the next 40 minutes you're going to learn what separates the $1 million pennies from the pennies you toss into the vending machine tray. And trust me, by the end of this video, you might be digging through your old coffee can of coins like a gold prospector in the Wild West. When was the last time you inspected a penny like your retirement depended on it? Because after today, it just might. Let's rewind to 1976. The country was celebrating its bicentennial, patriotism was high, gas was under $1, and copper pennies were everywhere. But at the Denver Mint, something happened, something small, microscopic even, and yet, that little detail is now worth over $1 million to the right collector. We're talking about a rare error variant of the 1976 D Lincoln penny. It was struck on a copper planchet, even though 1976 was a time of transition, where the US Mint experimented with various alloys due to rising copper prices. Certain 1976 D coins show signs of die doubling, especially on the date and Lincoln's profile. To the trained eye, it's unmistakable. To the untrained eye? It's just another old penny. These coins survived decades without being destroyed, lost, or damaged, making them incredibly rare in mint condition. Well, if you've got a 1976 D penny with even a whisper of these features, you might be sitting on a fortune. And here's the part most people miss: the condition matters. A worn 1976 D penny is worth a cent a pristine, uncirculated version with errors? That's where the $1 million value starts to kick in. But here's the kicker: they're still out there, not in museums, not behind glass. They're in your homes, your drawers, your old piggy banks, and your grandfather's tackle box. A man in Ohio found a rare 1976 D penny in his late father's coin jar. He nearly spent it at a gas station. Instead, he sent it in for grading. 3 months later, it was sold to a private collector for over $1.2 million. A woman inherited a dusty shoebox full of coins from her uncle. In it, a 1976 D penny with a die clash error. It fetched 6 figures in a bidding war. These aren't Wall Street investors. They're ordinary folks, people who looked a little closer, who believed that even the smallest coin could carry the biggest return. Let's pause for a second. Alright, before we go deeper, let me ask you a fun question. Have you ever tried paying for coffee with $1 million penny? No? Me neither, but imagine the barista's face if you said, "Keep the change. Just don't sell it under market value." Let's reset. You've now learned that the 1976 D Lincoln penny isn't just a relic from the past. It's a ticket to something much bigger: financial freedom. But here's where the urgency comes in. Right now, as we speak, there are coin dealers, investors, and collectors scouring eBay, estate sales, flea markets, and coin shows trying to find these pennies before someone like you does. Every day you wait, one more coin vanishes from circulation. One more opportunity slips by, and the demand is higher than ever for rare coins, especially patriotic-era Lincoln cents like the 1976 D. Check your coins. Look for the D mint mark below the year 1976. Inspect for doubling on the date or Lincoln's face. Weigh the coin. If it's 3.11 grams, it's a copper planchet. Send it for grading through a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Contact a professional coin dealer or auction house, because this channel is here to help people like you discover, sell, and profit from coins hiding in plain sight. There's a 1984 penny floating around that's missing Lincoln's ear, and it might just be worth more than your car. Then you already know what to do: subscribe. Turn on the notifications, and most importantly, start searching, because your retirement, your next investment, your once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, might just be hiding in your pocket change. Imagine waking up tomorrow, opening an old dusty drawer, and finding a penny, just one penny that could be worth over $1.3 million. Would you hold on to it, or would you cash in and change your life forever? This isn't a fantasy. This is real. A 1994 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark. A tiny coin overlooked by millions, but now it's making collectors lose their minds and investors pay fortunes. You're not watching this video by accident. You're here because a part of you knows there's something more. Maybe you've got jars of coins, maybe your grandpa left you a box, or maybe you've just got a hunch. And trust me, that hunch might make you rich. Stay with me, because over the next 40 minutes, I'm going to show you why this simple 1994 penny could be your ticket to a millionaire lifestyle. By the time this video ends, you may never look at spare change the same way again. Let me take you back to 1994. Clinton was president. The Lion King ruled theaters. And Lincoln pennies? They were just pennies, but something unusual happened at the U.S. Mint. In Philadelphia, a batch of Lincoln Memorial cents were released without a mint mark. This was not normal. The Philadelphia pennies are supposed to have no mint mark, yes. But these 1994 no mint mark pennies were different. A rare die variety slipped through, one that created a near-perfect cent with just enough anomalies to catch the eye of elite collectors. Now here's where it gets wild. Some of these rare cents show a double die obverse, others have off-center strikes, and the ultra-rare few have a copper LA transition error, something that makes them worth more than some homes in the Midwest. And yes, one recently sold for $1.3 million in a private sale. Let that sink in. 1 penny, .1 sale, .1 life-changing moment. Let me ask you something. When's the last time you checked your penny jar? Or that old coffee can in the garage labeled junk drawer stuff? because you might be sitting on a gold mine. Simple, right? But don't be fooled, not all 1994 pennies are created equal. It should have no small d or s beneath the date. But it's more than that. This coin has a certain shine, a luster that collectors call full red. If you see that brilliant copper glow, don't blink. You'll see doubling on the "In God We Trust" text, and Lincoln's "I may look ever so slightly ghosted." The copper transition error means some of these coins weigh more than the standard 2.5 grams. You're looking for a 3.11 gram heavyweight, a potential copper alloy leftover from 1982, and if you find all those in one coin, well, you might want to sit down and call an auction house. Not your cousin Bobby from Craigslist if you're thinking, why would anyone pay over $1 million for a penny? Let me flip that on you. Why would someone pay $120,000 for a 1974 stamp with a printing error? Why would someone spend $3.7 million on a Honus Wagner baseball card? Because to the right person, rarity plus history equals obsession, and obsession equals massive value. Remember, you're not selling metal. You're selling a story sealed in copper. Here's the thing that most folks don't realize: these coins are disappearing. As collectors snatch them up, they're pulled out of circulation. Some are tucked away in safe deposit boxes, never to be seen again. Which means every day you wait is a day the market tightens, and a day your chance at finding one slips away. Let's talk emotion for a moment. Or to pay off your mortgage in cash, or to give your kids a future that you built, not the banks. That's not just money. That's legacy. Now here's something even more fascinating. The average American household has $113 in spare change lying around. That's over 25 pounds of coinage, and statistically, 1 in every 87,000 pennies minted has a known anomaly. Do the math. That means there are likely still hundreds of rare 1994 pennies sitting in homes, garages, and glove compartments right now. Yours might be one of them. I'll tell you exactly how to sell it. But first, let me share a story that will blow your mind. There was a man in Ohio, mid-60s, retired mechanic. He found a 1994 penny while helping his granddaughter with a school project. At first, he brushed it off. But something made him pause. He checked the weight. It was 3.1 grams. He held it to the light and saw the doubling. He sent it in for grading. 3 weeks later, he got a call that changed everything. The coin sold for $1.27 million. He paid off his house, donated to his church, and took his grandkids to Disney World, first class. Handle with care. Use gloves or soft cloth. Oils from your skin can damage the surface and reduce value. Get it weighed. Use a digital scale accurate to 0.01 grams. Magnify the details. A jeweler's loupe or coin microscope will help you spot doubling and imperfections. Submit to a grading service. PCGS and NGC are trusted by professionals. A good grade MS65 or higher can mean hundreds of thousands of dollars more. Partner with a rare coin auction house. Not a pawn shop. Not a sketchy online seller. Go professional. Heritage Auctions, Stacksbauers, Legend Numismatics, these firms deal in million-dollar coins regularly. Here's the truth most people never hear: we're surrounded by opportunity. But only a few are wise enough to spot it in the ordinary. Today, that opportunity looks like a 1994 penny with no mint mark. So check your change. Search your drawers. Dig up that old shoebox from the attic. If you found value in this video, hit that subscribe button. This channel is your guide to turning pocket change into wealth. Like, share, and stay tuned because we've got more million-dollar coins coming your way. And remember, don't chase luck, hunt knowledge.
What if I told you that the next time you reach into your junk drawer or check between your car seats, you might pull out a coin worth over $1.4 million? But that's exactly what happened to a retired factory worker in Ohio who stumbled across a 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in an old mason jar, and turned it into a life-changing windfall. Now, before you laugh this off and say, it's just a penny, let me ask you something: how many times have you unknowingly tossed away a tiny piece of your future? This isn't just about coins. This is about missed chances, hidden wealth, and the power of paying attention to the small things in life. Today, we're diving deep into the story behind the 1984 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny, the coin hiding in plain sight that could be worth more than most luxury cars or even a family home. We're going to explore what makes this coin so special, how to spot one, and why collectors are willing to pay up to $1.4 million for the right one. So buckle in, grab a drink, and whatever you do, don't leave this video halfway through. Because somewhere in the next 40 minutes lies the detail that could be your ticket to a completely different lifestyle, and no, this isn't a sales pitch. It's a wake-up call. They say opportunity doesn't knock twice. But in the world of coin collecting, sometimes it jingles quietly in your pocket, waiting for you to pay attention. Let's rewind the clock back to 1984. Ronald Reagan was president. Apple had just launched the Macintosh. And in a quiet corner of the US Mint, a small mistake took place, one that would ripple through history. A batch of Lincoln Memorial cents left the Philadelphia Mint without the usual P mint mark. At first glance, they looked just like any other penny. But there was a subtle error, a doubling on the obverse side, especially around Lincoln's ear and the word liberty. This doubling, known in collector circles as a double die, is the key to its massive value, yes. And not just any penny, this is a 1 in a million printing error, and it's been hiding under our noses for decades. Most Americans have never even looked at a penny for more than 2 seconds. Which is exactly why these coins go unnoticed and unclaimed. You're holding a piece of rare American minting history. And it's not sitting in a glass case somewhere, it's in a dusty coffee tin on your garage shelf. The fancy word for coin collecting isn't just a hobby for history nerds and museum curators. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry filled with passionate collectors, sharp-eyed investors, and yes, folks just like you, looking for a financial breakthrough. The 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny stands at the crossroads of rarity and error. The doubling error, the missing mint mark, and its surprisingly strong condition make it a triple threat in the collecting world, and when a coin has this kind of scarcity combined with historical significance, well, prices shoot up fast. A man in Texas discovered one of these coins while helping his grandson with a school project on Abraham Lincoln. They were sifting through an old cigar box when he noticed something odd. Lincoln's ear looked doubled. A quick online search led to a coin appraisal. That same penny sold at auction for nearly $1.4 million. We'll come back to that in just a minute, but first, let's talk about how you can tell if you're sitting on one of these hidden treasures. There are 3 things you need to look for, and one common mistake that's cost collectors a fortune. Doubling on Lincoln's ear, check with a magnifier. If the ear looks like it's got an echo, you might be in luck. Look at the word liberty. Some coins show doubling in the letters, especially the B and E. No mint mark under the date. If your 1984 penny has a D or S under the year, it's not the jackpot. But if it has no mint mark and the doubling? Jackpot City, polishing the coin or trying to clean it up. That can reduce its value by tens of thousands of dollars. Let the experts handle that part. If your idea of coin preservation is rubbing it on your jeans, stop. You're not polishing treasure, you're destroying history. He paid off his mortgage. Bought his daughter a new home. Took his grandkids to Disney. And the best part, he started a YouTube channel teaching others how to find rare coins. That's right, one lucky penny flipped his entire life. Now, let me ask you again, before you walk away thinking this could never happen to you, pause, because it already has happened. Dozens of times. To everyday people. People who just happened to pay attention to a copper-colored coin that everyone else ignored. So check your jars. Dig through that glove compartment. Go raid grandma's old coin purse, because the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a piece of currency, it's a test. A test to see if you're still sleeping on your potential, or ready to cash in. If you want more real stories like this, insider strategies to find million-dollar coins, and weekly tips to turn old change into real wealth, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss a golden opportunity again.
What if I told you a penny, yes, a simple coppery coin, could flip your entire financial story? Imagine waking up, brewing your coffee, and reaching into that old jar of change. Suddenly, your fingers touch a coin. It's light. Ordinary. Worn. You almost toss it aside, until you notice something strange. No mint mark. Just the year, 1987. Hold on. Don't blink. Because what you're holding might just be worth $1.5 million. It isn't. Welcome to the incredible, often unbelievable world of rare coin collecting, where a forgotten cent could be your ticket to a life you never dreamed possible. And now, before you run to your sock drawer, let's unpack the full story behind the 1987 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny. And trust me, this isn't just about a coin. This is about opportunity hiding in plain sight. Stick around. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to sell it for top dollar, and why this coin has collectors emptying their pockets in a frenzy. But first, let's ask the burning question: why on earth is a penny from 1987, with no mint mark, worth more than most luxury cars? In 1987, the U.S. Mint struck billions of Lincoln Memorial pennies. Most bore the Philadelphia Mint mark or the D for Denver. But every now and then, something slipped past the strict quality checks. A blank. A missing detail. An error. The 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, don't confuse this with the typical Philadelphia cent. We're not talking about a standard strike here. This specific no mint mark variety shows unusual characteristics, misalignments, die breaks, and sometimes a composition anomaly. That's what gives it insane value. Collectors don't pay top dollar for average. They want the mysterious, the rare, the flawed perfection, and this penny checks all the boxes. You ever look at a penny and think, yep, there's my retirement fund? No? You might want to start. Let's pause and address the elephant in the room. Why is this particular penny valued at $1.5 million? Fewer than a handful have been found in mint condition. And with no confirmed official mintage records of these exact error coins, their scarcity makes them gold dust for collectors. A 1987 no mint mark penny in mint state, MS67 or higher, is like winning the coin lottery. Most are circulated, scratched, and bruised. If you have one in pristine condition, you're sitting on a gem. There's a deep emotional draw with coins. Their history, art, and investment in one. Combine that with eager collectors, and you get jaw-dropping auction prices. One such 1987 no mint mark penny recently fetched over $1.5 million in a high-stakes private sale. But how do you tell if your 1987 penny is the $1 million one? In a moment, I'll walk you through the exact signs, and a little-known trick even dealers don't talk about now: grab your magnifying glass, or better yet, your phone camera with zoom. Here's what you want to check, just below the date on the obverse side. If there's no visible mint mark, and no sign it was rubbed off, your heart rate should be going up. Sharp lines, clear features on Lincoln's coat and hair, and strong steps on the memorial building on the reverse, these all boost the grade. If it still has that original red hue from the copper plating, it could be in mint state territory. Most of these valuable coins were found not in circulation, but in original bankrolls and mint sets. If you've got sealed 1987 penny rolls lying around, don't open them carelessly. Get them appraised. You could be cracking open a fortune. Remember that coin jar your grandma left you? Might be time to go full Indiana Jones on that thing. Now let's pause. This isn't just about collectors and auctions. This is about the life-changing potential of finding a rare coin. You're struggling with bills. Retirement feels like a fantasy. Then one morning, with your hands still cold from that basement drawer, you find a penny, and everything changes. Paid off. That RV road trip across the country you always dreamed of? Booked. The grandkids' college fund? Covered. It's not a fantasy. It's happened to real people. And it could happen to you. But even if you find it, how do you sell it safely without getting ripped off? That's coming up in just a minute. How to sell it without getting cheated. Get it graded. You want to send your coin to PCGS or NGC, two of the most respected coin grading companies in the world. Their certification adds instant credibility and value. Avoid pawn shops. I can't say this enough. While it's tempting for a quick buck, they'll offer pennies on the dollar. Literally, go to auction. Use online platforms like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers. You'll get international exposure and serious buyers. Get legal help if needed. If your coin is truly worth 7 figures, don't walk into a sale alone. Get a lawyer or financial advisor to help structure the deal. So, here's what we've learned: the 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny is more than a piece of copper. It's a whisper from history. A glitch in the system. A secret waiting to be discovered. IT reminds us that wealth isn't always earned with sweat and years. Sometimes, it's hidden in the smallest places, forgotten drawers, dusty jars, old wallets. If you're still watching this video while casually flipping a penny through your fingers, stop and check the date, and if it says 1987, and there's no mint mark? Congratulations, you may have just stumbled into a millionaire's club. Before you go rummaging through your change jar, do me one favor. Hit that subscribe button. Because I'm dropping weekly videos on rare coins that are turning ordinary people into wealthy legends. Leave a comment if you've ever come across a strange-looking penny. You might just be sitting on the next big discovery. Sometimes, the smallest coin can carry the biggest reward. We'll see you in the next video. But until then, go check your pockets. Your $1 million moment might already be there.